I have been attending for the last few days the World Conference Against Statelessness on behalf of Cage International, a fantastic conference that brought together scholars, activists, lawyers, UN special rapporteurs, members of parliament, countries from all over the world. There were over 400 delegates. There were really fascinating discussions we had looking at this issue of statelessness of the people in India, the Rohingya, even in the United States, which I was not fully aware of. I was invited to represent Cage to talk about the deprivation of citizenship policies in the UK and how we've come to the stage where the British society is happy for the judicial, executive and legislative branches of the government to collaborate to render a child victim of grooming and trafficking to be stateless, abandoned to her fate in a prison camp in the middle of a desert. So we explored how we've got to that point over the past 20 years. It came as quite a shock to many of the people there, in fact nearly all of them, that British courts rely on secret evidence and a closed material procedure, not in accordance or consistent with the rule of law and the due process. And I said, well, welcome to Britain. It's been quite liberating to be able to have discussions about the legitimacy of Palestinian right to resistance, about whether Hamas is a terrorist group, whether it should be described as a terrorist group, what the motivations for its attacks are, without having people looking over their shoulder and in case they might get arrested for counter-terrorism offences or reported to a regulator or their employer or be suspended from university. All of these repressive measures that are taking place in the UK to silence any form of dissent, whereas at the same time you can completely glorify Israeli genocide and probably get promoted in your respective fields. Again, just underlines and confirms how out of step the UK is with the rest of the world. When I talk about the discussions, it's not just in Malay society, it's at the conference with delegates, with individuals who are present from all over the world. Really and truly, the UK needs to fix up because it is going to be remembered as a pariah state that funded and provided military and political cover for Israeli genocide alongside the US. That is how history will remember it. It will be a shameful episode in the history of Britain, yet one more to add to the list.